We're here today doing this documentary on this here area where many people have been killed. They've been brutally slaughtered, brutally injured. They've bled to death here, and they've been decapitated here at the hands of various individuals associated with this here place. The legend has it is they're not actually people. The legend has it they're demons and they're shadow people. Some have even witnessed black-eyed children. To start our adventure, our tour, I want to take you to this area. This is where the tools were gathered in order to injure, kill, bleed out, decapitate, grind, and burn people to death slowly. This here is called the bone and flesh grinder. Doesn't sound very dramatic in the sense that it was much more than that, really. What that would do is they put it on your thigh, activate it, and it would shred. It would shred through your skin right to the bone, intentionally missing arteries so you don't bleed out to death yet. It's a lot to take in. Many legs, bones, toes, fingers, skulls were crushed. Follow me this way, and Mr. Rickard, if you could please continue.
Victims of the torture house would fall victim to the cord. The cord was a device they used to electrify and strangle the victim. They would tie it around the neck, and then they would insert it into the victim's skin. Screams could be heard. No screams were heard.
Not one.
Not one.
No screaming.
Not from inside the house.
Many people would investigate the screams they heard. They would come over here, they'd see the equipment, they'd see the chair, which we'll continue on to next. But did they ever see anybody or anything? No, because they never heard no screams. There were no screams, but they heard them. But how did they hear them if there were none? Still a mystery.
If a man screams in the house and no one's around to hear, is he heard?
What do you think?
Next, the chair.
An individual would be strapped to this chair from the back, upper torso, legs, feet to the floor. Do you know why? Do you know why?
To cause pain,
And suffering,
death,
harm, and torture.
torture. But the victim was still alive. Which brings us to the final act of torture. The cutter. The torturer would string the victim up by his hands. His body would dangle as the blood flow. The cutter would be used. The torturer would pick it up, hold it horizontally under the victim, lift it up between his legs, and saw.
Right in half.
And saw. Until
Again, missing all nervous system and spinal ligaments associated with death and survival.
the victim would be alive to the end. The victim would feel every cut, every stroke, every blade, every bone crack and skin and muscle and ligament tear until the victim died.
However, occasionally, as legend has it, people would escape. How? It's a good question. Nobody really knows. However, it is speculated through this hole is where they would escape to freedom. So they thought. What the victim didn't realize, however, was on the other side of that hole was not freedom. In fact, it was a bin. Quite a large bin.
The legend was wrong. The victims would run out the door. They thought they'd escaped. They'd fall into the bin. A bin of acid. Death. And then the pigs would come. And they would eat the victim.
Whole.
Piece by piece.
By piece.
By piece.
Not whole.
Not whole.
Sometimes they might have been whole, but we don't know.
Mostly piece by piece.
I'm pretty sure they're whole.
Once or twice it was whole.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a pretty sad thing, but what do you think happens after that? Do you have any idea? Any thoughts? Please, inform us.
What happens to the pigs, you might ask? Herded up, put on a truck, shipped away, slaughtered, killed, cut up, packed up, sent to the grocery store, and eventually ending up on your plate.
In fact, you were eating a human.
You thought you were eating bacon, sausage, ham.
All kinds of different meats.
Oh shit! Oh, who was that? 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 Brennan! Brennan, try to go!